Hello and welcome back. I thought we'd have a look at the M7 in Southern livery this week, as we have these Southern coaches left on the railway from the other week. So we're just going to take the Winston Churchill and these coaches around to the station, and then we'll leave the coaches there. The M7 in Southern livery was available between 69 and 71, although in 71 she lost the glowing firebox. Look at this, smoothly along to a gentle stop, just about there. And then we'll leave those coaches for the M7 a little later, and we'll move on round the layout here with the Winston Churchill passing the signal box. We'll take her just beyond points number 18 there. Nice smooth stop there, and then we'll switch points 18, and then we'll move back gently through those and number 17 up onto the turntable there on the left. And then we're going to rotate clockwise, and then we'll take her off gently into the engine shed. I think she looks great as she comes in underneath these lights there. And then we're going to turn the turntable back to straight and switch points 18 back before we forget about them. And there she is, the M7 in this lovely Southern livery. Sadly, somebody seems to have repaired this box with quite a lot of sellotape in the past. We'll just have a look at the end of the box at the information that's printed on a separately stuck on paper label there. It's catalogue number R.868, and it says M7 tank locomotive SR with glowing firebox, opening smoke box door and magnet adhesion. So again, quite a lot of features on this model. The price could have been stuck there. It feels a little bit sticky, but somebody's had a go with black pen there as well. Bottom of the box looks pretty good. Other end of the box is quite tidy, apart from the excess tape stuck to it. Top of it's in reasonable shape, and again, the back looks pretty good, but again, quite a lot of tape. I was just having another look at the end of the box there. Since I recorded that last piece, I said that was sort of black pen, somebody pen marked something in there, but it's actually sticky as well, so maybe this is where the price label or labels have been in the past. So we've just got her out of the box, and this model was available between late 69 and 1970 with the old glowing firebox, and then in 71 only without the glowing firebox, sadly. But the tray does bear the number there of the earlier black variant, R754, which was available from 1967 to 70, so maybe they were just using up the old trays. Sadly, no paperwork with this model. We'll just get her on the track and we'll see if we can pick up those coaches that the Winston Churchill left behind a few moments ago. So I've got the front driving wheels on there, and we'll get this rear set on as well. Not quite. There we go. I think we're all on there. Now I'm just using this handheld controller just to move away with, because all of the other controllers are on the far side of the layout. So here we go, a little bit of power. It's very, very smooth, isn't she? It seems to be quite difficult to get an angle where you can see into the cab and see the old glowing firebox. It's quite awkward, the positioning. Nice and smoothly through all those points and diamond crossings there. Now we're going to come through points number 8 back onto the inside line so we can pick up those Southern coaches. Very well behaved through there. Quite an abrupt stop. We'll switch the points there, and then we'll move back and collect the coaches. I think we have those. Look at that, just absolutely effortless. Such a lot of power available for such a little model. Smoothly off, and the sound moves into the distance. The opening smoke box door was a big selling feature of this model. We'll just have a quick look inside there. And we can see we've got detail that's hidden there behind the door. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I think the door and what we see behind it is all one unit, and it's got some hinges on the side of it there. So just get those into focus. I think they're quite fragile, and they won't take a lot of opening and closing. So we won't do that too many times, but I think quite a nice feature to have. The front end of the model, we've got the old D-shaped coupling here, and the bright red buffer beam with metal buffer heads just pushed into the plastic bodywork,
and we can see the chassis just protruding through the bodywork here, and that helps hold the whole model together, along with a single securing screw underneath, which we'll see shortly. Now we do have the smoke box door closed, or as closed as it's going to be. It doesn't quite close on this edge as nicely as it should. I'm frightened of if I push it too hard it's going to fracture these very delicate hinges here. But all the same, there's some lovely detail on it, and I do love this handrail over the top of the smoke box door there. It really is terrific. And then we've got this stunning detail along this side here. It really is a very beautiful model. And the windows in the front edge of the cab are a lovely shape. I'm not quite sure whether I prefer this in this southern livery or the black liveried one from 67. The black one from 67 is a favourite of mine. Just looking down the side of the model from the other angle, we've got a couple of steps here, front and back, and the wheels, the spokes are all painted up in green, which I think is quite nice. And the coupling rod there is unfluted. We'll have a closer look at that a little later. We've got the lovely handrails either side of the cab door there, with nice round windows in the back. We've got some great detail running around the top edge of this coal bunker. We can see the detailing on the top edge of the coal bunker a little more clearly from this angle, and there's minimal detail down the back edge of the model. Again, bright red buffer beam, a little bit of riveting going on, and again, metal buffer heads just pushed into the plastic bodywork, the old D-shaped coupling. Just as impressive looking down the side of the model, just like the other side. It really is quite a beautiful thing. And just looking at the front from the other side, we can see where that smoke box door doesn't quite close as it should. Lovely shaped chimney, isn't it? And again, the detailing over this front wheel and along the top of the tank is completely different to the opposite side of the model. Just looking slightly more closely, we can see the fireman there that's been installed. No driver though. And again, looking at the lining, it really is beautiful and crisp, along with the word Southern. You can't see from this angle, but the varnish that's been applied to the model in the factory has come away slightly around the numbering and the word Southern on both sides from handling, I think. Again, just look at that beautiful lining over the top of the boiler. And just a swift look from above, and the beautiful shape on the top edge of that chimney. Look at the detailing along the top edge of both of those tanks. It really is excellent, isn't it? Roof detail's fairly minimal, and there again there's that lovely coal load there. It is quite matte, so it's not too shiny. I've just taken the body off the chassis there. That's where the securing screw would go. It's fairly clean and tidy. A little bit of an oil splat here, come off the motor I think, and the black piece sticking through the bodywork there is the smoke box door unit, which is just pushed into the bodywork there. And you can see, as I said earlier, it doesn't quite close, and I'm not going to push that any firmer. You can see we've got built in Britain there, and the model number there isn't for this model, but for the black variant that came along in 1967, which we spoke about earlier. Just looking here, we can see either a stress mark or the beginning of a crack just there. I don't know whether you can see that. These models, the chassis is quite long, and there's a steel part at the back, and I believe that if they're over tightened, there's a sort of slight curvature in the overall chassis, and it causes stress there. The marks haven't come through to the other side yet, so we'll have to be quite careful with that. But these things happen, but it's definitely had a working life, this model, and it's in fairly good condition. And as we say, that it has been picked up. My fingers along the side, you can see the wear through in the varnish there on the sides of the tank. It's a similar situation on the other side there as well. If we look there, you can see it's been worn through, so it's definitely been handled and used, but reasonably well cared for, I think. We'll just have a swift look at the old chassis there. It does give a really good view of those great big drive wheels, isn't it? Really lovely, painted up in green like that. There's those unfluted coupling rods. Just have a look here. We've got these two smaller wheels at the back here. And they're sort of articulated bogie there, we can see, and it is sprung there, so we can keep pressure on it, and it helps keep those drive wheels down on the track there. So we do have the magnesium as well. You can see the great big magnet there, which is giving us that extra pull-in power. And just have a look there. This plastic part here is where the firebox glow unit goes there, so you can see the bulb in the top just taking its power directly off the brushes on the side of the motor there. See the old fireman at work there, and you can see that little bit of sort of yellow plastic there that gives it the effect of the glowing firebox. I don't know whether a driver's ever been glued in there. Maybe he was there at one stage, but certainly since I've had the model, it's never been there. And that motor looks fairly clean and tidy, doesn't it? I'll just switch it around and have a look at the other side there. So it's a terrific looking thing, isn't it? Really is. Those wheels really make it, I think. Just a lovely thing. And we're looking in the top there, we can see the worm, and that drives that wheel there, or set of wheels. Great big plastic cob on it. And collection wipers under both those wheels. Plastic plate on the bottom there, and the arm which goes to the bogie there goes in, and the same screw holds it all together. So the steel plate I was talking about, which extends the chassis there, and I think the angle that creates through there sort of does that, and if you over tighten it, it could cause stress in the bodywork, I think. But really is quite a piece of engineering, isn't it? Sort of lovely thing, as I said before.
In 1971 only, the M7 was included in the train set RS607, which included two of these wonderful coaches, R622A, the Composite, and R623A, the brake coach, and also a Circle System 6 track. Now we're just coming into the third radius curve now, approaching the incline. Now there's a lot of power available with this model, just like the Winston Churchill model we saw a couple of weeks ago. Now we're going to bring her gently to a stop, just about here. Now isn't she a great match for those coaches? We'll just have a quick look at these Southern coaches. Now we had a look at these in their boxes a couple of videos back, so I'll leave a link to that if you want to see them in their boxes. This is the Composite R622A, and this is the brake R623A. I believe these are from around 1971. Triang and Triang Hornby and Hornby Railways did variations on these 10-inch Southern coaches over quite a period from 63 through to 77, I believe. But let's have a swift look at these today. So we'll just have a look at the roof. They share the same white roofs. There was no restaurant car to go with these. We've got that nice interior there. We're looking from the compartment side, and if we just turn that around, we'll have a look at the corridor side. And then we've got the old handrail printed on the glazing strip. So quite nice things, really. It's very difficult to photograph, as I think I've said before. This green really eats up the light. In danger of overexposing the roofs there. They share the same underframe detail, and we've got built in Britain and the name Triang there. We've got pinpoint axles with those plastic white rimmed wheels, and we've got the usual end detail, metal buffer heads pushed into the plastic bodywork of the coach, and the old D-shaped couplings, and this Composite's carrying a number of 5015. So I'll just pop that down and we'll have a swift look at the old brake. Again, it's a similar moulding, if not the same as used in other brakes in different colours. This one carries the number 4351. I always love the bars in these. And again, as I say, it's the same underframe detail. We do have seating unit on the inside. Quite nice things, aren't they? Again, sharing the same end detail as the other coach we've just seen. Handrail detail printed on the glazing strip again. Yeah, they were quite a nice mould. There is really good detail, especially in the brakes, I think. Great looking things. And I say the colour goes really quite nicely with the M7 that we're looking at today. Now we're just going to move away on the incline here. Just look at that, it's absolutely effortless. There's a lot of power available in this model, as I said earlier. Looking terrific there, and she goes off into the distance and approaches the old suspension bridge. Looking absolutely fantastic. As she starts to come down the incline there, we're backing off the power a little. Now there was another variant of this model in 1972 to 75, different number and a slightly different shade of green. Then in the 80s there was a SR green one again, model number R103, and then slightly later again there was a black variant, R.862. And I think that's probably about it for this week. And if you look back again, we'll have something else from the trying Hornby period. Thanks a lot. Goodbye now.